Better Business Bureau spokesmen say students can best protect themselves by finding out the demand of their chosen profession and then checking the track record of the school they want to attend.
Well, if you're one of those folks in New Orleans who works for minimum wage, you probably have your fingers crossed right now, hoping for a federal increase in that wage. How might that increase affect lifestyles as well as Louisiana's economy? We'll soon find out.
And plans are underway for the biggest meeting of national black leaders in 13 years. We'll tell you who's coming to town.
I have a dramatic satellite movie loop of building thunderstorms in Texas.
And we have some dramatic pictures of the Soviet women getting ready for the Crescent City Classic.
These stories and much more when News 8 New Orleans continues.
This is Monica Pierre. These workers are hoping for a $1.20 an hour increase in the minimum wage, but some say it's too much. I'll have the story when News 8 New Orleans at 6 continues.
What's being called the biggest meeting of black leadership in America in 13 years is scheduled to take place next weekend in New Orleans. Today, some of the organizers announced the purpose of the African American Summit 89 will be to address the crisis facing black America, as well as to set new goals and strategies through the end of the century. Some of the summit participants, and there are lots of them, include Reverend Jesse Jackson, Mrs. Coretta Scott King, former militant leader Angela Davis, and also former Gary, Indiana Mayor Richard Hatcher.
More pay may soon be in the pockets of thousands of Louisiana workers and the rest of the country. Congress and President Bush are trying to finalize a bill to increase the minimum wage. Tonight's News 8's Monica Pierre takes a look at what the increase would mean for Louisiana workers and their bosses.
Workers who put in long hours for low pay are hoping the political confrontation over minimum wage will be resolved soon. Earlier this week, the Senate adopted a Democratic plan to boost the current wage from $3.35 to $4.55 an hour. Gwendolyn Carr has been working for minimum pay for 24 years.
I think that's great. It'd be real nice. It's much better. Everything else going up, the price of gas and clothes and food, everything else going up, so I think that would be fine.
The increase would be phased in by 1991.
But some people on Capitol Hill are worried about the larger wage increase. They fear it may actually hurt the people it was designed to help.
They want a modest increase to $4.25.
See, if we raise that minimum wage too much, then we make it more difficult to get jobs in Louisiana. And our big problem in Louisiana now is not so much the amount of wages, it's the amount of jobs.
Others don't feel 30 cents more will chase away jobs, but
certainly I would say it's not going to create more jobs.
Competition for jobs many people have passed over in the past could become fierce. Survival for Louisiana companies could come down to a balancing act.
The employer is going to have to decide for himself if he can take his product and bring it to market and deliver it and make a profit. Can he do that at the new minimum wage?
So the debate over how much to pay boils down to 30 cents. Precious pennies for people who haven't had a pay raise in 8 years. Monica Pierre, News 8.
A conference committee is trying to iron out differences over the minimum wage package. President Bush has said he will veto anything over $4.25 an hour. Well, even though it was mostly cloudy today, there wasn't any rain.
But all that might just change, believe it or not, again tomorrow. Bob Breck's going to tell you all about it when News 8 New Orleans at 6 continues.
Bob's in with the weather. Thought it was supposed to rain today. Not that I'm complaining, but
It did.
It did.
In Texas.
I knew it would be somewhere else.
We'll show you why. I mean, it's, yes, here's a problem this afternoon. Last night we were watching, and still are, an upper air disturbance that actually we thought it was up here, but it's really down here, as you'll see in a minute. Out ahead of it, it's pulling up a lot of Gulf moisture and a lot of thunderstorms, but it was moving into a very dry air mass at the surface over this part of the country, and the thunderstorms just fizzled as they reached us. Now, we can show you all that in motion. These are the storms last night. They just blossomed up, and as they reached us, they fizzled. Look at that. They're gone. They're off the map. And it really is kind of dramatic to watch how they fade. Now, if you focus back down to south here, here is this upper low. It's kind of ill-defined, but you can see how the moisture is just coming up out of old Mexico. And look at the big thunderstorms that are firing off in Texas today. And you can see how last night's thunderstorms faded and the new ones have formed now tonight. Now, our thinking is as this gets closer to us, these thunderstorms will continue to push towards us, and they won't fade as the ones last night did. So I think tomorrow we stand a good chance of rain late in the day. Now, where it's raining under these thunder showers in Texas, it's very, very chilly, in the 40s and 50s. You get out away from the rain and it warms up. For instance, it's up to 71 at Omaha, almost near 80 down at Brownsville. So either side of the system, it's not bad at all. Now, as this front comes down from the north over the weekend, that's my thinking that we'll finally get some drier air in here. Tomorrow, though, the system will be approaching, so we'll have lots of clouds and some showers and thunderstorms by late in the day. On, say, early Saturday, you might have a shower. Then this front ought to get here late in the day with more showers, and Sunday looks like the best day of the weekend. Now, last night at 10 o'clock, we had these big thunder boomers down in the Gulf, and the ones coming at us from the west, they just fizzled during the day, and we cleared this afternoon and turned out into bright sunshine. Back in Texas, though, new storms are firing off, and again, as they move across Texas, they kind of get into Louisiana, and you can see how they shrink up under that dry air. Now, we have a little different perspective here. This is a three-dimensional satellite movie loop that you'll watch the thunderstorms bubble up here, and then as they move over us, they faded, and look how we cleared during the day. The new storms back in Texas, this perspective allows you to watch the thunderstorms. Look at how they pop up in the atmosphere. These are the ones, yeah, old Ron likes to see that happen. These are big thunderstorms back in Texas with some very heavy rains, and it gives us an idea, especially as summertime thunderstorms arrive, we'll be able to see how these grow in that third dimension. You know, whether it's not two planes, it's three-dimensional, and this will allow us to do that. Today's highs or lows this morning started in the 50s, generally low to mid-50s north, upper 50s south, and during the day with plenty of sun. It wasn't supposed to be here, but we soared up into the mid-70s this afternoon. Been a long time since we've been in the mid-80s, and I think we're going to start seeing warmer temperatures, especially after the weekend. Tonight we're at 68 degrees. Humidity is still dry at the surface, east winds at 10, and a rising barometer at 30-12. Tonight, we're partly cloudy, but we will become cloudy during the night. A slim shower risk late tonight, but the chance is very slim. Lows in the upper 50s to lower 60s. Now tomorrow, I think we won't see much sun. Few showers, mainly in the afternoon. Chances will increase during the day. Highs low to mid-70s. So not a whole lot different than today initially, but I think late in the day it'll get kind of ugly. Now on Saturday, maybe a shower for the Crescent City Classic. Breakout in the sun, a thunderstorm late in the day, a weak cold front on Sunday, and then look at Monday and Tuesday. Real nice weather and maybe some 80s coming back. We haven't seen the 80-degree temperatures in quite a while. East winds tomorrow, again on the breezy side, at 12 to 20 knots. Watch it if you're going out in the Gulf. And this Sunday, this Salmon Family Fun Day on the North Shore, they're going to have a fun run at 8:30 a.m. If you're a runner, you can be running up there if you don't want to jog in the Crescent City Classic.
Thanks, Bob.
All right, Bob. Some junior high school students in our area have been raising quite a stink lately over a really stinky smell.
We'll explain when News 8 New Orleans at 6 continues.
Well, finally, we probably all know how a school gymnasium is supposed to smell, right? A little musty, to say the least.
Well, the students at a junior high in Mississippi say the stinky smell in their gym goes way beyond musty. In fact, they held a protest over it because they say they just can't take it anymore.
Here's the problem. The clay foundation beneath the school is shifting, squeezing some of the sewer pipes and forcing, unfortunately, very nasty odors to back up inside the building.
One ninth grader on the picket line says, quote, "When you sniff, nothing but gnats fly up your nose." School administrators say they're working on the problem.
Yeah.
We're glad to know.
And that's it for News 8 New Orleans at 6 o'clock. Thanks for watching. I'm Warren Bell.
And I'm Margaret Dubuisson. Until 10, y'all have a good evening.
Bye-bye.
Women Against Women in the Workplace. See DONAHUE Friday.